I love things that are sort of steeped in reality. I love the grittiness of location shooting. I just think sometimes working within those constraints takes you to a place where you get results that are sort of edgier, more interesting.
Working in the United States, where if you push hard enough and if you bang on enough doors or if you ask enough questions, you can get most of what you need. But there, I found myself having these insane circular discussions where I would just want to go outside and shoot myself afterwards because I was so frustrated.
I don't even know if it's hit me or maybe when I go back home, it'll like really sink in of where I've been, because we've been so fast, you know, but I've always definitely tried to pick my spots, and every time I'm somewhere, I'll step away from the set and all the craziness, and I'll go alone, and I'll kind of just look at it, and I'll just give thanks. I'm just like, thank you for allowing me to see this. This is like by far the most beautiful thing I've seen in my entire life.
We're finishing so big. It's just an enormous, enormous place. The pyramid's 186 meters to the top of the pyramid that's behind me. And you can't get the scale that it's that big until you're standing right next to it. So again, Michael is delivering largesse. And it's enormous production value in this. And what's going to come up next, down at Karnak and in Petra, and even in the Wadi Rum desert. If you've had the pleasure of seeing Lawrence of Arabia, we're going to the same desert where they shot Lawrence of Arabia, and I can't wait. It's everything we're doing. We're closing really, really big. Not sure what the reason was, but on our first day here, we sat and we waited for the permit, which we all thought we had until the day before shooting. And that morning when I woke up, it's like, well, we don't have a permit, so we'll have to stay by the trucks. And that's hard to do.
We were supposed to film the first day, and it became a bureaucratic, everything just got entangled with different areas of the government. So we literally lost a full day of shooting. We couldn't film.
Ian is like, screw it, we are out of here, we're loading up our plane, and we're flying to Jordan. And that's when I'm like, we are not leaving this country until I shoot those bleeping pyramids. I am shooting on those pyramids. Come hell or high water, we are shooting there. And somehow, 15 minutes later, we found a loophole that Dr. Hawass is in charge of all the antiquities, which means he controls all the land where Egyptian antiquities are. That's his domain. And so we were allowed to shoot on the pyramids. It was a magical place to shoot, just amazing.
Let's have a photograph.
Dr. Hawass.
Michael is allowed to shoot in places that doors open.
My thing as a director is I like to shoot in places where people haven't shot or people say you can't do. You know, no means nothing to me. It's like, because I somehow am able to sweet talk my way into locations that you just normally can't get.
We're here shooting, and we have an actor climbing on a pyramid. That is amazing.
The funniest thing was the one take I was going up, and they were all yelling at me. And I thought they were worried about me, but they were yelling that I was going too high. And it was the people from the antiquity, group, but they were worried about the pyramid, not about me. So.
It was a good experience being there. And, we worked around the crowds, which was interesting.
Obviously, it's a huge tourist site, and they were happy to accommodate us, but they really, needed to leave the place open.
I think the tourists were surprised to see us, because the tourists came to see these pyramids, and there's this big movie set with, Bumblebee and the twins.
We finished one night, and it was the usual sort of excitement and energy that's, you know, associated with a typical day on one of Michael's films. And we got to the end of the night, and we sat and I thought, hang on, we just lit the pyramids. That was interesting. Shooting it was visually phenomenal. You can't match that, you know, to have John Turturro up on a pyramid, you know, acting and doing his stuff. I mean, the scale of them is just extraordinary. It's absolutely awe-inspiring, it really is. And, you know, to be there doing a movie is just great. You know, you couldn't wish for anything more exciting as a location.
Luxor was staggering. I mean, just, you know, for me personally, you know, you can visualize the pyramids quite easily. We've seen them in books. We're so familiar with them. Luxor, you sort of think about them as this bunch of pillars, and, you know, that's kind of cool. And then you get there and you realize just the scale of it. It just keeps going and going. It just begins to blow your mind.
You find yourself standing next to a tomb with engravings that are thousands of years old, and you know, it's just extraordinary. It's overwhelming.
The fact that the paint is still there and it's made out of egg yolk. There's just unexplainable things that, you know, this paint has been here over 3,000 years, and the paint in my kitchen can't stay on for 2 years, 3 years. Where did we go wrong?
Tomorrow. Thank you, everybody. That's a wrap. Here we go. Get the jet.
We are in Salt, Jordan. Used to be the capital of Jordan, and now Amman is. We were just in Amman earlier today. We got in last night via Black Hawk helicopter, man. First time ever on a helicopter for me, man.
The Prince of Jordan is actually a huge fan of the movie, so we got treated like royalty there. And that was pretty amazing.
The Middle East trip in general has been, I can't even like try to encapsulate everything that's happened. It's been so much, from pyramids to the Sphinx to Luxor. We went to the Karnak Temple. The history, the culture. It's been fast and it's been crazy. But you know, you've got to find those moments where you could just kind of stop and take in what you're seeing.
Petra's on the top of this huge mountain. We flew in on a helicopter. We landed on top of a mountain, and there's a big monastery, which is carved in stone from the mountain. It's amazing, it's beautiful, it's huge.
The day at Petra was the best day of my career, let alone this movie. It was, I mean, I was there. We took off from Acre when we flew in formation with these other Black Hawks to Petra, and yeah, I was there with Ben Saracen and Phil, the camera operator, and we were like little squealing children. It was the most brilliant thing I've ever done. It was a fantastic day. It was very exciting.
Massive undertaking, and the only way we got approval to do that was because the King of Jordan is a fan of Transformers 1. So the Prince arranged for all of this, and we used their military helicopters to get us up there, and it's an awe-inspiring sight.
Petra was more astounding than the pyramids for me. It was more captivating.
I mean, just the scale of the place is phenomenal. It really is extraordinary. You see the actors in there, and it's mind-blowing. You cannot fake that stuff. You can't fake it.
That was one of those moments where you were so mindful of the film history. It's a spectacular landscape. It's one of the most incredible places in the world. I love deserts, and it was one of just the scale of it. These 3,000-foot high things that just come out of this flat desert, and then suddenly, every once in a while, a herd of camels goes by here, right nearby. You go, oh, there's some camels, you know. But being in the footsteps of Lawrence Arabia was something that we were all very conscious of and got a great thrill out of. And I always wondered whether, you know, what Michael really felt inside, you know, because what an incredible place to be shooting in that guy's footsteps.
That's it. Wrapped on the Middle East. Can't say it out loud because things will happen. We're done here.
On behalf of Michael Bay, I'm sure he wants to do it personally, but he's got to go. Thank you, everyone, for all the hard work. That was from Michael, okay, guys? I said on behalf of Michael Bay, you want to thank everyone for all their hard work.
Are we done?
We're done. We're not going to see most of these guys.
Really? That's so sad.
Sad.
But you know what? Yeah, screw you. Let's go.
There you go.
He knew, like, how amazing these places were and how special they were, and that we had to go there for at least those moments. We could do other things like build our temple city and do some things here in Los Angeles, but to get those really iconic places, you needed to be there.
You know, if somebody would have told me, 15 years ago, you're going to be working with Michael Bay on a movie executively produced by Spielberg, I wouldn't have believed him. So, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool to be a part of something like this.
This is one of the best crews that's ever been assembled. To be able to put up with some of the stuff that these people put up with. This is one of the best crews ever assembled.
Our crew was awesome. Our cast was awesome. We all bonded. And there's something, when something is so hard, it does force like a very special level of bonding to occur.
You don't go through a show like this and not come away with like really strong relationships. I have really strong relationships that I've built on this that didn't exist for me in the first one.
It was an amazing accomplishment for everybody. And at the end of the movie, it's like, wow, we did this. And you think back of what we did, it's like you could just take a breath and go, oh, we got through it.
We do all walk away and we're like, yes, it's done, we made it, hooray, it's gonna be great, don't ever wanna do it again. And then you're away from it for like 6 months, and then, you get, the adrenaline kicks back in, you're like, all right, when are we making the next one?